Energy really matters, and it influences every part of our daily life. The modern society, as we know, it just can't survive without energy, as simple as that. And it is one of the most consequential industries in the world. Earlier in 2025, the Iberian Peninsula experienced a power outage. It impacted 60 million people for 10 hours. Everything from telecommunications to transportation. And the economic loss of that outage is estimated anything between $2 and $5 billion US. The rise in demand for power globally for the last decade was 1.3%. And in 2024, that demand grew by 2.2%. So we have a rising energy demand dynamic going on. And the real challenge for us is to meet that with the greener supply, but also it has to be more reliable and more affordable. Centrica Energy is a physical energy trading and logistics business. We trade power, gas, LNG, renewables, and certificates. We're an international company, and our mission is to energize a greener and fairer future. Centrica Energy connects producers, consumers, and energy trading counterparties. We have leading technology, energy expertise. We bring that to the fore to provide price transparency and risk management solutions to all of our partners.
RETO stands for Renewable Energy Trading and Optimization. In RETO, we're in the center of the renewable transition, and we do power purchase agreements, buying renewable power from renewable producers. We do corporate power purchase agreements where we link renewable producers with corporate off-takers of renewable energy. In Centrica Energy, we are very committed to the decarbonization of the energy system. We currently manage 17 gigawatts of renewable and flexible power assets. And our commitment is to reach 30 gigawatts by 2030, which is equivalent to supplying 25 million homes with renewable energy.
Centrica has one of the largest gas portfolio of storages across Europe in around 20 countries. The gas is still widely used around Europe, around Asia, and definitely in the US. And we are moving to a system where these wind farms or solar farms are much smaller in size, and they definitely weather dependent. Therefore, the grids are still designed for these large centers, and they need to be balanced all the time.
LNG is liquefied natural gas that is cooled down to minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit, just to be easily transported. Last year, in 2024, we traded 254 cargoes. I think the role of LNG in energy transition and security supply is critical. The cheap natural gas, that cheap reserves in the world are in the US and in Qatar, and the consumption is somewhere else. So the only way of taking that cheap gas to the rest of the world is by liquefying that, putting that in vessels and delivering that globally.
When our customers are building and planning a renewable project, typically they need some kind of certainty of the value of the power that is generated from their investment. And what our contracts do is that they provide some degree of certainty about the future revenue of the project. We take over the responsibility to balance the electricity onto the power grid. We also assume some of the risks that the power producer would otherwise have to manage. We have seen growth in demand for corporate PPAs from multiple different industries. But the industry that really stands out in terms of demand growth is the tech industry. In 2023, 35% of the demand for corporate PPAs actually originated through the tech industry. We expect demand growth from data centers alone to be up to 16% per year going forward. The renewable energy is, as a product, quite volatile because of the difficulty in predicting wind and solar radiation accurately. That production is fluctuating quite a lot. It makes prices fluctuate quite a lot as well. We invest quite substantially into our capabilities to manage this volatile production. We have our own in-house forecasting platform. We invest quite a lot in prediction accuracy and machine learning models. We also use trading algorithms to support the execution of our trades. For that, we absolutely need technological solutions to support our human traders. We see the battery storage technology as an effective tool in solving some of the problems from the renewables. The key challenge of the green transition is to always ensure that there's a balance between supply and demand, and that balance is restored when there's an oversupply or an undersupply of energy into the system.
One of the key dynamics required, I think, will be the need to provide better solutions for flexibility and storage. In addition to that, we also will need to modernize the grid in order to take into account the changing generation of power. But we shouldn't forget the fact that gas will continue to play an important transition role. In doing that, we'll also see the penetration potentially of other fuels, biofuels, hydrogen, etc., for deep decarbonization of our world. Centrica Energy already today has got one of the largest third-party independent energy portfolios of all players in Europe.
We're talking about energy transition, and the important thing is we need to go step by step. So the LNG is going to facilitate moving away from wood, coal and oil into natural gas as a first step just to move into something that is cleaner. So to give you an example, we recently took our vessels into dry dock. We decided to include an innovative anti-fouling painting. Anti-fouling is important in vessels because that creates additional friction. So with the friction of the vessel, that means lower performance and additional emissions. The first results that we have is that this has improved the efficiency and reduced the emissions by 3%. So it's not the end of the game, it's a small step. Taking each of those steps one by one will take us to the right direction.
It is our ambition to be a global world-class energy trader, expanding our market footprint from what it is today to be a truly global player and to play a full part in the energy transition that is upon us.